ॐ विश्वं दर्पणदृश्यमाननगरी तुल्यन्निजान्तर्गतं पश्यन्नात्मनि मायया बहिरिवोद्भूतं यथा निद्रया यः साक्षात् कुरुते प्रबोधसमये स्वात्मानमेवाद्वयं तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये बीजस्यान्तरिवाङ्कुरो जगदिदं प्राङ्निर्विकल्पं पुनः मायाकल्पितदेशकालकलना वैचित्रचित्रीकृतं मायावीव विजृम्भयत्यपि महायोगी वयस्वेच्छया तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्तिः 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 सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयामदेवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैः स्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेमदेवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो हरिष्ठनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ॐ शान्तिः 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 12th Karika page 56 नात्मानं न परांशैव न सत्यं नापि चानृतं प्राज्ञः किञ्चन संवेत्ति तुर्यं तत्सर्वदृक्सदा. So in these Karikas, Gaudapada Acharya, as we discussed, it's a compare and contrast. Vishwatejasa Prajna on the one hand, the other hand Turiya, comparing, contrasting. So the fourth pada is compared with the first three, contrasted also. And for that, to understand the contrast, well, we can say, we can introduce this Karana and Karya, which of course Gaudapada Acharya introduced. And the meaning of Karana and Karya are quite different here. So either we say Karanam, either you say Nidra, sleep, okay, cause, sleep, or non-apprehension and ignorance. These are four synonyms. Karanam, Ajnanam, deep sleep, and non-apprehension. Karyam. What is Karyam? Karyam means basically waking, or even, let's say not even waking. Waking and dream is dream. So Karyam is a sapna, dream. Or Anyatha Granam. Anyatha Granam means misapprehension. And Adhyasa, you can say. So that is superimposition. So Karyam. Then our dream and this misapprehension and superimposition are same thing. This is the meaning of Karana and Karya here in Mandukya. That is introduced by Gaudapada Acharya. And so Vishwa is associated with what? Vishwa is associated with Karana and Karya. Ignorance and Karya. Misapprehension or superimposition. Ignorance and superimposition. Or ignorance and misapprehension. Taijasa is associated with what? Same. Karana Karya. Ignorance, misapprehension. Adhyasa. Superimposition. Prajna is associated with what? Just ignorance. That we can compare that also. So Vishwa Tejas on one side, Prajna on other side also. That way. And now Turiya. Turiya is free from Karana and Karya both. Free from ignorance, free from superimposition. Turiya is Turiya. That's it. So there is no Karana, Karya, etc. There is no ignorance also. There is no misapprehension also. There is no superimposition also. So when you see Turiya, well, all these three are not there. When you see these three, you find that Turiya alone basically is this, due to Turiya associated with just Karana is Prajna, ignorance. Turiya associated with Karana and Karya, ignorance and superimposition, Adhyasa. Well, then it is Vishwa and Taijasa. So Turiya alone is this thing. There are no four things. Why? Because with Turiya the adjective is used Advaitam, Shantam, Shivam, Advaitam. Therefore Advaitam means which has not become second. So Turiya has really not become second. All that is there is Turiya alone. There is nothing other than Turiya. In that case, there are no four entities, Vishwa, Taijasa, Prajna and Turiya. Turiya alone with this association, Upadi, Karya Upadi, Karana Upadi. Both Upadis are there, then it is Vishwa and Taijasa. Turiya is with the Upadi called Karana, just Karana Upadi. Then Turiya has been conditioned by Karana Upadi. Upadi means condition. So you experience them conditionally. Same Turiya, Advaitam. Therefore, same Turiya basically is experienced as a Prajna, etc., deep sleeper, with a just Karana Upadi. So this is how. So Turiya basically alone is associated with Karana, Karya, etc., then appears as a Vishwa, Taijasa, Prajna. But Turiya basically is free from any association with that. So that creates a confusion, and that I was talking to you. That we have to remember that Karana, Karya, etc., the ignorance and the Adhyasa will be Mithya only. And Adhyasa is Mithya, the ignorance also is Mithya, Karana also is Mithya. And therefore, since they are Mithya, their association, Turiya's association with them also is Mithya. If Karana, Karya itself are Mithya, they cannot have independent existence. Therefore, definitely, association of Turiya with them is Mithya. Therefore, well, definitely, you can, means what? Mithya means what? We have seen experientially which is there. So you experience yourself as a waker right now. Right now itself you are experiencing. Right? You are waker. You say you will experience yourself as a dreamer, you will experience yourself as a deep sleeper. But really speaking, experientially which is there, but factually which is not there. So definitely Turiya has not become a Vishwa, Taijasa, Prajna, because Upadi itself are Mithya. And so once you know Mithya, then you have a freedom. Knowing Mithya only, there is a freedom. So you can very well right now, if I ask you, you can say, if I say, who are you? You can definitely say, I am waker. Look at that. This Swami says, I am a waker. What will he teach? I know I am a waker, and he also says I am a waker. Well, then what is the difference between me and any other person, wise person or anybody? What is the difference? He also says I am a waker. Oh, I am a runner, I am a eater, I am a seer, I am a listener. Oh, look at that. That's what I also, ignorant person also says. No. He has freedom. You don't have freedom. Yeah, that's it. Because your introduction that I am a waker or listener, eater, runner, walker, whatever, a limited entity. A limited entity. All limitations are there. In your awareness, you are not free from the limitation of time, space and attributes. Means you feel you are bound. Jnani says I am waker because with a mithya thing he can associate and say, why not? Like an actor says I am a beggar, he has that freedom. Knowing he is a beggar, still he can say I am a knowing he is actor, He can very well say I am a beggar. That freedom is there, inner freedom. That's what cognitive freedom, cognitive space is there. Same thing. Gnani can say, well, I am teaching. Gnani can say, I am eating right now. Gnani can say, I am going tomorrow to a particular place. So like that. Gnani can say. Gnani will not say other than what others say. Yeah, he will not. Otherwise, there will not be communication. Whole world communicates in one way and Gnani communicates differently. This body comes and you have to say that way then. This body comes, this body goes, this body, oh, what are you doing, Swamiji? Oh, this body is lying down right now. Yeah, what is this? What are you talking? So they have a freedom to associate with the Karya Upadhis. And I can introduce now Karya Upadhi means Sthula Sukshma Sharira. Yeah. Associate. Why associate? Then he will become limited. Again, he will associate with the Karya. Mithya. Mithya means you cannot prove its existence independent of consciousness. Atma. You. Turiya. You just can't prove. Please prove the existence of the body without consciousness. Please try. Okay? When you say that I am proven, Swamiji, I am coming to your AVG and I am proving to you that body exists independent of consciousness, well, we will leave this Vedanta forever. Because this Turiya is Advaitam. There is nothing other than Turiya. Means all that you count right now is Mithya. So Turiya plus this Vishwa is Turiya. Turiya plus gross body is Turiya. Turiya plus subtle body is Turiya. Turiya plus causal body is Turiya. Turiya plus Karya Karana Upadhi is equal to Turiya. That is what it means, Advaitam. So therefore, this is our algebra. Right? Puja Swami's algebra. 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus. Swamiji, Turiya plus your body plus my body. Turiya. You cannot prove existence of anything, any name and form. Try it. Try it. You can try any number of ways. Even your thought to try and to prove Swami wrong itself is consciousness. Very thought itself is consciousness. Very thought, there is no consciousness, is consciousness. Okay? Yeah. So therefore, nothing can be proven independent of consciousness. Factually, nothing is there. Experientially, everything is there. Factually, nothing is there. Yeah. This is Mandukya. Factually, nothing is there. Experientially, everything is there. That is why it is Sapna. That way it is Sapna. Experientially, everything is there. My God. Experientially, Air India plane is there. Experientially, people are there. Experientially, Delhi airport is there. Experientially, everything is there. Experientially, Rishikesh is there. Ganges is there. Experientially. All sentient, insentient things, billions of things are there experientially. So long as you are dreaming. When you wake up, the fact is, there is nothing other than you. Turiya alone was appearing in all these forms, sentient, insentient, entire world. That's how it is Swapna. That way this world is Swapna. Don't think this Swapna, I'm dreaming. Don't do that. Just compare this way. Don't go further. It will bring craziness. This way it is Swapna. Just as I cannot exist, whole dream world exists in waker, cannot exist independent of the waker. Right? Waker with the Upadhi. Alone is this dream. What is Upadhi? Ajnana Upadhi. Same way here. Turiya with the Upadi is Vishva Taijasa Prajna. Turiya with the Upadi is this waking world, dream world, unmanifest world. That's it. Anyway, so you have a freedom to choose to introduce yourself. Yeah. So when you choose to include, Turiya is renamed as Vishva Taijasa Prajna. When you choose to exclude, you are just Turiya. Just Turiya. Because being Mithya, you can exclude, you can include, either way. That is what Bhagavan said, Matsthani Sarvabhutani, Nacha Matsthani Bhutani. Turiya is associated with them, Turiya is not associated with them. So Turiya is Karyakarana Vilakshana. And same Turiya with the Upadhi of Karyakarana will be Vishwatejasa Prajna. And in this 12th shloka, 12th Karika, well, which we of course started in the last class, Gaudapadacharya ji differentiates Prajna and Turiya. Compare and differentiates. That's what's going on, comparing, contrasting. And Prajna is associated with what? Ajnana. Same Turiya will be called Prajna. We rename it because of the Ajnana Upadhi association. We call Prajna. So Prajna's Upadhi is what? Right now, Ajnana. Ajnana means what? I have already told you. Ajnana means non-apprehension. Agrahanam. That's a word here. And or else you can say what? Karanam. Or else you can say what? Nidra. Right? That's called Nidra. Nidra just doesn't mean deep sleep. So here deep sleep means just ignorance. You have to take, because all words are quite different here. Yeah, ignorance is Nidra. So of course, in your deep sleep state, what obtains is ignorance. That's there. Of course, consciousness, of course, will be there. Turiya is there with the Upadhi of ignorance. That's there. But Nidra is a technical word here. Nidra means ignorance. Nidra means non-apprehension. Nidra means cause. Okay, that's what. Therefore, Anadi Mayaya Suptaha, he is going to say, Anadi Mayaya Suptaha. Oh, he is sleeping. Oh, I am awake. No, you are sleeping. Mandukya says you are sleeping right now. Oh, I am awake, I am listening. No, you are sleeping. Anadi Mayaya Suptaha, Yada Jivaha Prabudhyate, wakes up. That's the knowledge. Anyway, and therefore Ajnanam being, Turiya associated with this, or Prajna's Upadhi is Ajnanam. Therefore, and Ajnanam is what? Satyam or Mithya? Well, it is Mithya. Turiyam is that which is really speaking free from Ajnanam, and therefore, because Advaitam, and therefore Turiya's association with this Jnana, if Turiya is Advaitam, then there is nothing other than that. Therefore, then this ignorance is Mithya. And that Turiyam, Tat Sarvadruk Sada, the Turiyam is Turiyam all the time, etc. That we will be seeing. So, Druk means Chaitanya. Pure consciousness. That's it. Pure consciousness. What is your introduction? Real introduction. Pure consciousness. Yeah. And then for that pure consciousness, everything is objectified. Without anything, it is just objectified. Just because I am Chaitanyam, everything will be objectified. Naturally objectified. Oh, let me objectify now Swami. Let me see Swami. For Turiya, basically, everything is objectified naturally. What is objectified? Is superimposition. That way, what is objectified, what is anatma, etc., is just superimposition on you, the Turiya, the consciousness. And therefore, Turiya is Turiya. One without second. What is superimposed cannot be counted as second. Yeah. Therefore, Rajju, right? Don't bring your Rajju. But no, this is better example. Okay, rope. Yes. Rope plus snake. Don't say that. No, I will say. Okay. Rope plus snake is equal to rope. Advaitam. One without second. One without second. Rope plus garland. Rope. Rope plus, a bhuchidra, right? Some kind of a crater or something in or rope plus a streak of water. Rope. This is world. Dvaitam. Oh, the garland and snake and these. And Pashakara gave example. We saw that. So rope plus this. Advaita rope. One without second. Plus all this Nama Rupa. Dvaita Prapancha. Advaita plus Dvaita Prapancha is equal to Advaita. This is, please understand this. One without second. Yeah, this is just a superimposition. All your experiences right now in this Zoom, this particular experience is nothing but a superimposition on you, the consciousness. It just lives. The experiencer, the experience, the object of experience just lives and a new experience comes. That lives and new experience comes on this screen of what? Consciousness. Asanga Chaitanya. Nothing happens to consciousness. Any experiences happen. Let it happen. This is Nidhyasana. I remain pure consciousness. I remain pure consciousness. Turiya. That is what he is going to say now. With the prajna, it will be compared prajna with the upadhi. This is free from upadhi, etc. etc. Okay. Then Bhashyakara says here, let's go. Yasmad Atma. So it is said Katham Punah. We saw that, of course. Katham Punah Karanabaddatvam Pragnasya Turiye. Karanabaddatvam. Prajna is basically Baddha, conditioned by the this Karana, ignorance. Turiye Pragnasya Baddhatvam Bhavati Va Nava. No, it's not there in Turiya. Or Katham, Va means Katham. कथम तत्व अग्रहण अन्यथा ग्रहण लक्षणों बंधौ न सिद्ध्यति सिद्धतः. So basically this Vishwa Tejasa also, the Karya Upadhi, while those things are also, Turiya is not conditioned by even a Karya Karana Upadhi called Vishwa and Tejasa. Turiya is not associated with just Karana Upadhi called Prajna. Turiya is free from that. Katham? How? So that is now being said. So Bhashyakara said further, Yasmat Atma Vilakshanam Avidya Bija Prasutam, same, page 56 and line number 6. Yasmat Atma Vilakshanam Avidya Bija Prasutam Bahyam Dvaitam Prajnyaha Na Kinchana Samvetti Yatha Vishwatejasau Tatascha Asau Tattva Agrahanena Tamasa Anyatha Grahana Bija Bhutena Baddha Bhavati. So, here Prajnaha Kinchana Na Samvetti. Now I am taking from the first line in a Karika. Prajna is in second line. Prajnaha Kinchana Samvetti is in second line. So, Prajnaha Kinchana Samvetti. Prajna knows something. Na Kinchana. Prajna just doesn't know anything. What doesn't know anything? Anything means what? Na atmanam, na param shaiva, na satyam, na pichandrutam. Prajna doesn't know himself, na atmanam. Prajna doesn't know he is Sachidananda, or else Prajna just doesn't know that I am a so-and-so, Muktatma. Right? Prajna. Associated with what? Ignorance. Associated with what? Nidra. Okay? So Prajna, what obtains in a deep sleep state is this. Prajna, Atmanam na samvetti. I am a Swami. No, he doesn't know. Na param shaiva. He doesn't know anything else. Space, time, no objects, no family members, nothing. So, na kinchana samvetti. Na kinchana means nothing. He just doesn't know anything. So, then what do it means? He doesn't know everything, we can say. So, then how? So, then Atmanam navetti, param navetti, Na satyam na pichanrutam. He doesn't know what is real, he doesn't know what is unreal, etc. So that prajna, yasmad atma vilakshanam. So he atma vilakshanam avidya bija prasutam. So therefore avidya bija prasutam, atma vilakshanam means basically it is anything other than itself. So what is that? Anatma. So atma vilakshanam means anatmanam. And what is that anatma? Avidya bija prasutam, which is avidya bija. Avidya is a bijam. Ignorance is a bija, cause. Avidya eva bijam, that is avidya bijam. And avidya bijam prasutam, born out of avidya. So basically atma vilakshanam. So yasmad atma vilakshanam avidya bija prasutam bahyam dvaitam prajna na kinchana samveti. Prajna just doesn't know with this dvaita prapancha. In deep sleep state he just doesn't know. The deep sleeper just doesn't know the dvaitam prapancha, which is what? Bahyam, which one can objectify. Bahyam means always what is objectified, which is dvaita prapancha, and which is what? Avidya bija prasutam, which is born out of avidya. Therefore avidya is a bijam. Avidya eva bijam, that is avidya bijam. So basically avidya is the seed for what? For this entire prapancha. In avidya you can say maya also. So basically maya bijam, so entire dvaita prapancham, well, which is bahyam, which is objective, which can be objectified, which is atma vilakshanam, which is in the form of, which is distinct from oneself, that is anatma, etc. That is prajna naveti kinchana samveti. Anyway. And then, so Shankaracharya doesn't comment upon this first line word by word, but he explained this entire thing. Na atmanam, na param, na satyam, na pichanrutam. Whole thing he explained like this. That bahya prapancha he just doesn't know, which is atma vilakshanam, which is distinct from oneself, which is in the form of anatma, which is dvaitam, dvaita prapancha, which is in the form of a duality, which is objectified bahyam. Well, that prajna na samveti. Prajna doesn't know. When? In a deep sleep state. He doesn't know the world at all. Okay. And so param naveti. So it is all doesn't know anything else. That has been explained. Satyam naveti. So prajna doesn't know real. Na anutam. Prajna doesn't know the unreal. And then Bhashyakara says, Yatha Vishwa Tejasau. Now here, Yatha means comparing. Prajna just doesn't know like Yatha. Just as Vishwa Tejasau. Like the waker and the dreamer doesn't know the world. Kya baat hai? They know. Therefore, we have to take yatha as a unlike, not like. It's a vaidharmyal drishtanta. Vaidharma means a contrary example. Prajna doesn't know anything. Dvaita prapancha, anatma prapancha, etc. Well, which is atma vilakshana, which is different from oneself, distinct from oneself. Well, he doesn't know. Prajna doesn't know. That is fine. But yatha, just as Vishwa Tejasau, just as a dreamer and deep sleeper, well, dreamer and the waker doesn't know. No, they know. Therefore, yatha you should translate here as unlike. Unlike, well, so dreamer also knows himself and as well as others. Waker knows himself and others. So, just unlike that, sleeper doesn't know anything. Doesn't know himself. Na atmanam, na param. So, Vaidharma Drishtana. And then Bhashyakara says, Tataha cha, therefore, asau, this prajna, tattva agrahanena. So, tattva agrahanam is, which is Bhashyakara himself says as a tamasaha. So, tattva agrahanena is equal to tamasa. Well, and tamasa, so, which is in the form of what? Prajna doesn't know anything. Therefore, asau, this prajna, Tattva agrahanena means basically because of the nidra, because of this ajnanam, tamasa. Tattva agrahanena tamasa, darkness, because of the darkness. And what kind of agrahanam? Anyatha grahana bija bhutena tamasa. So the ignorance, prajna as upadhi is this ignorance. Therefore, and because of that, he doesn't know anything. Na atmanam, na param, etc. And that agrahanam, tattva agrahanam is what? Or tamasa is what? Anyatha grahana bija bhutena, which is the seed of anyatha grahanam. Which is the seed of what? Misconception. So ignorance is always a seed of misconception. So anyatha agrahana bija bhutena baddha bhavati. So prajna is baddha. Asau prajna baddha bhavati. Basic sentence. Asau prajna baddha bhavati. This prajna is conditioned by what? Tattva agrahanena. By non-apprehension is equal to what? Tamasa, ignorance, darkness, right? So because of conditioned by this ignorance, well, and what is this ignorance? Anyatha grahana bija bhutena, which is the very seed. This ignorance is the very seed of anyatha grahana, misconception in terms of Vishwa and Tejasa. So asau prajna baddha bhavati is conditioned. Okay, clear? Then further, Bhashyakara, yasmat turiyam, that's on page 57, line first in Bhashyam. Yasmat turiyam tat sarvadruk sada turiyat anyasya abhavat sarvada sada eva iti sarvam cha tadruk cha iti sarvadruk tasmat न तत्व अग्रहण लक्षणम बीजम तत्र. So yasmat. So yasmat turiyam tat sarvadruk sada. So the turiya, which is basically free from agrahanam, he described what? Prajna, right? Now he is coming to turiya. Compare and contrast. So turiyam, turiyam is what? Free from agrahanam. Turiyam is free from basically ignorance. Why turiyam is free from ignorance? Advaitam. All that is there is one Advaitam. One non-dual Advaitam, turiyam, consciousness. Therefore, there is nothing called ignorance. Therefore, turiya is free from ignorance. Turiya is free from agrahanam. So, we are differentiating prajna and turiya. So, right now, anyatha agrahanam, we can leave it. Anyway, so while contrasting prajna and turiya, we say prajna is associated with the ignorance, tamasa, etc. we saw, whereas turiya, ignorance is not there. And we need not go further into adhyasa. Turiyam is free from Vishwa and Tejas also. We need not go because we are just comparing prajna and turiya only. Okay, why turiyam is free from ajnanam? Beautifully, Gaudapadacharya says what? Turiyam, you can see the fourth line in the Karika. Turiyam tat sarvadruk sada. That's it. This much is for the turiya. Rest is everything for the prajna. Prajna kinchana samvetti na atmanam na param na satyam na chandrutam, etc. All prajna. Turiya is this. Turiya is basically, we are comparing with the prajna. Prajna is associated with the ignorance. Turiya is even free from ignorance. I just said Advaita, but here the example is what? What has been, reason has been given? Sarvadruk. Since Turiya is Sarvadruk, it is free from ignorance. That's what it means. Sada Sarvadruk. So, that's a very special interpretation of Gaudapadacharya to compare prajna and turiya and to show that turiya is free from ignorance is a very special interpretation. So, here, you know very well, druk means basically a seer. So, that's a common meaning of druk. Here there is a special meaning, we will see later. So, the common meaning of druk is a seer. And sarvadruk means what? Sarvadruk, Well, one who is a seer of everything. That's called Sarvadruk. So basically, that is generally a Sashti Tatpurusha Samasa. Sarvasya Druk, Sarvadruk. Sarvasya Druk, Sarvadruk. A seer of everything. If a seer of everything, when you say, definitely that everything is called seen. And this Turiya will be what? Seer. Right? Turiya is seer. And seer of everything, that everything will be called seen, which is distinct from seer. So if you take Sarvasya Druk, means Atma is, or the Turiya is basically Turiyam Tat Sarvadruk. So Turiya is basically a seer of everything. Then definitely what happens is that there are two things. One is a seer and everything else is a seen. That are two things. Then there will be Dvaitam. But Turiya has been described as a Shantam Shivam Advaitam. And therefore we cannot take this Sashti Tatpurusha Samasa. We just can't take seer of everything. Then Bhashyakara himself, explains that Sarvamcha Tadrukcha Karmadhare Samasa. Turiya is Sarvam, Turiya is everything, and Turiya is Druk. Turiya is seer and Turiya is everything. And therefore we have to say Turiya is consciousness. Right? Turiya is consciousness. Everything is consciousness. The seer is consciousness, the seen is consciousness. So definitely Turiya is not a conscious of everything. Seer of everything means conscious of everything. No. Turiya is everything. Sarvam. And Drukcha. Turiya is the seer also. Means Turiya is basically consciousness. And if consciousness is everything, there is nothing other than consciousness. So, if there is nothing other than consciousness, where is Ajnanam and Adhyasa? We are not talking first, but just compare with the Prajna. Then where is ignorance? If everything is consciousness, means there is nothing other than consciousness. Where is ignorance? Where is ignorance? In Turiya? No. Prajna is associated with ignorance, that's fine. But for Turiya, when you say Turiya, or when you understand Turiya, there is no ignorance at all. If ignorance is not there, Bija is not there, then where is a question of Ankura called Vishwa and Tejasa, Adhyasa. So all the three are not there actually. So ignorance definitely, but we experience ignorance. You say now Turiya means no ignorance, but what about experience? We don't deny where we have denied. That's our mithya. That is our mithya. That's what mithya is. That you experience, but really it is not there. When we deny experience, you should challenge this. In fact, Shastra talks of basically analysis of experience, then definitely Shastra accepts what? Experience. Because Shastra talks an analysis of experience. Then definitely experience must have been accepted by the Shastra. Then further analysis. A scientist definitely accepts there is sunrise. Accepts. As experience, he accepts. And then explains that look, this is how you feel the rising of the sun. Really there is no sunrise. That's a truth. Factual statement. There is no sunrise. But everyone experiences sunrise, so he accepts that experience and explains away the experience. Oh, why? This is the way you feel, you experience a sunrise. This is the way you experience a sunset. This is the way you experience a blue sky. This is the way you experience a blue ocean. This is the way you experience the twinkling of the star. There is no twinkling star. That's final thing, factually. But yes, You all say that, well, there is experience. Scientist will not deny experience. Scientist will analyze experience and proves a fact which is contrary to experience, of course. But he will also say, this is how you experience sunrise, sunset, this, that, etc. Same way Shastra accepts experiences, that is how it has been described. Waking state, dream state, deep sleep state, right? If all that is there is Advaita, just consciousness, where is waking? Where is waking? Where is dream? Where is deep sleep state, etc.? So basically, there cannot be those. I mean, there cannot be that will not be the case where Shastra basically doesn't accept experiences. Ultimately, factually, what is there is Turiya is free from all the three states of experiences. Turiya is Turiya, free from Karya Karana. Turiya is free from Vishwa Tejasa Prajna, etc. All that is there is just one consciousness. Anyway, so Turiyam, basically, there is no ignorance other than Turiyam, right? And therefore, Turiyam cannot be contaminated by ignorance. Turiyam cannot be contaminated by ignorance. Anyway, so there is nothing other than Turiya. And therefore, there is Atma, and there is Atma Ajnanam. And that Ajnanam is literally a cover kind of a thing, and it is covering the Atma. If Swamiji Atma Ajnanam is there, then therefore there are two things. One is Atma, one is Ajnanam, right? And therefore Ajnanam is basically covers Atma. No, not at all. In fact, Ajnanam exists in Atma. Mithya Rupena. Yeah. This is what Anirvachaniyatvam. When you say I am Atma, there is no ignorance. If you say I am not Atma, I am not Brahman, I am not Turiya, there is ignorance. So ignorance is there or not there? We have to think. We have to think. There is pot or not? Pot is there or not? You cannot say. When you look at the clay, well, you say there is no pot. When you say I am filling up the water, etc., well, you say there is pot. So this is how it is. This is how the whole world is. Anirvachaniya. Anyway, so therefore there is Atma and there is Atma Jnanam. Two things are not there. Why? Because all that is there is just consciousness. Sarvadruk. Sarvadruk means that which is everything, Sarvamcha Drukcha. That which is everything and that which is Druk, which is consciousness. Here Druk means consciousness. Or you can say, no, but I want to translate only one thing. Druk means seer only. Okay, no problem. That which is everything and that which is seer. Okay, which seer? Unchanging seer, if you would like to use this word. Unchanging seer is consciousness. Changing seer is a mind. Okay, that's a mind. How can you say it is changing? Because you are not seer 24/7. Oh, you are hearer also. And that also goes away. Even seer, hearer, all ER goes away. You are free from that in deep sleep state. ER. Right? Therefore, changing seer is a mind. And that changing seer is basically objectified. Therefore, it is Atma Vilakshanam. All, if you want to say, Druk means seer, you can say that. But unchanging seer, ever seer, because of my nature, I am ever seer. Ever seer. That's it. That's a consciousness. Self-revealing. So, this Turiyam cannot be contaminated, burdened. Swamiji, you are right. I am Turiya, I am Brahman, I am this, I am Muktaha. Well, I am free. But this ignorance is there. When will this ignorance goes away? So, Turiya and then some unveiling ignorance. That kind of a thing you are thinking. So, just as the clay cannot be burdened by the pot, so then because there is nothing other than the pot, other than the clay, same way, well, here also we can say that It's not that ignorance is sitting on Atma, etc. So there is no ignorance other than Turiyam. And so Shankaracharya says further, Yasmat means since this Turiyam is Sarvadruk, since the Turiyam is a consciousness which is everything, well, and Kada, Sada, well, not after knowledge, Sada Sarvadruk, Sada, that Sada word also is there in Karika. That Sada has been explained by Bhashyakara as a Sarvada, same thing, Sarvada, all the time. All the time means what? Ajnana Kale api. Even at the time of you say I am ignorant, that ignorance is really not there in Turiya. Yeah. Even when you say there is a pot, well, all that is there is just clay only. There is nothing other than clay, Advaita. Yeah. And therefore, really don't think that ignorance is some entity, real entity which is covering Atma. No, not at all. So, Sada, Sarvam Druk, Sada means that which is everything and that which is consciousness all the time. Means all the time there is nothing other than consciousness. Means Ajnana Kale, both the time. Even at the when you say I am ignorant, Swami, of a Atma, right? Means there are two things. There is Atma and there is ignorance. Well, Ajnanam doesn't exist. In fact, your ignorance shines in same consciousness. Cannot exist independent of consciousness. Anyway. So, this, even so when Ajnani says, I am burdened with this ignorance, etc., well, it is not. Sada, all the time. Turiyat anyasya abhavat sarvada. Bhashyakara says, Turiyat anyasya abhavat. There is nothing other than Turiya, while ignorance also does not exist other than Turiya, Sarvada. Means Sarvada, means Bhashyakara further says, Sada eva iti hetoho. Sada eva iti. Means iti heto. Because of this, well, ignorance, there is nothing other than consciousness, and therefore ignorance, well, definitely is not there in Turiya. It's a fact, of course. But I experience ignorance. Yeah, that's correct. I experience ignorance. That's correct. And therefore ignorance is really there in Atma. Not there. All that is there is Atma. I am seeing Swamiji pot, therefore pot is there. Your clay is there, but I am experiencing pot, therefore pot is there. Okay. I say clay, you say pot, right? Take away pot, don't worry. Leave that clay. I will keep it forever. Okay? Take your pot. Yeah. Where is pot? Where is pot? When you realize that there is all that is there is clay, one clay, where is pot? But I experience it. That is fine. But don't say as an entity independent of clay. No. So same way here. Ignorance also is like this. There is ignorance. I experience ignorance all the time. I don't know this. I don't know your Atma also. Right? Therefore there is ignorance. Correct. Experience. True. Therefore, well, there are two entities, Atma and ignorance. No. All there is Atma. Ignorance has no independent existence of Atma. So therefore, this is how we have to understand. So this is a fact. And how do you get this meaning? Meaning Shankaracharya ji give that Karmadhara Samasa which I told you. Sarvam cha druk cha iti sarvadruk. And tasmat, Bhashyakara, since it has begun with the yasmat. Yasmat turiyam tat sarvadruk sada. Tat sarvadruk sada is there in the Mula Karika. Turiyat anyasya abhavat sarvada sada eva iti hetoho sarvam cha tadruk cha iti sarvadruk tasmat. Well, so tasmat means therefore. Therefore means what? Well, since we have to go in the beginning, yasmat. Since ignorance does not exist separate from turiyam, tasmat. Na tattva agrahana lakshanam. Tatra turiye. Well, in turiya basically tattva agrahana lakshanam na bhavati. So turiya means basically free from. this tattva grahanam. Turiyam is free from the bijam. Turiyam is free from ignorance. So turiyam is free from karanam. I told you already. So turiyam is free from ignorance or karanam or bijam, etc. Turiyam is free from non-apprehension, etc. Turiyam is turiyam. No, but we want to include because I am ignorant. Okay. So turiyam is also associated with mithya ajnanam. Okay. Then you will be renamed as what? Prajna. And then further, Bhashyakara says, Tatra tat prasutasya anyatha grahanasya api atah eva bhavah nahi savitari sada prakashatmake tad viruddha dharma prakashanam अन्यथा प्रकाशनम वा संभवति नहि द्रष्टुः द्रष्टेः विपरिलोको विद्यते इति श्रुतेः. Bhashyakara somehow likes this statement. He quotes again and again this नहि द्रष्टुः सर्वदृक् द्रष्टुः द्रष्टेः विपरिलोपो विद्यते अविनाशित्वा. So this the sight of the seer never ceases to be. Yeah. The sight of the seer never ceases to be, means the consciousness of the seer never ceases to be. The seer ceases to be. The consciousness will never of the seer never ceases to be. It also exists. Consciousness exists even when the seer sleeps. In a deep sleep state, right? And therefore, sarvadruk, it's all the time. All the time, any state, all the time is a sakshi, witness consciousness, or unchanging seer, or even sarvadruk. Here Bhashyakara says sarvam cha drukcha, that is everything. Consciousness is everything, and consciousness is druk. That druk means consciousness. Sada, all the time. Anyway, so here, so not only that turiyam is one in which ajnanam is absent, factually it is not there, and then turiyam, well, then definitely adhyasa also is absent. So Bhashyakara says tatra means turiye, in this turiya, tat prasutasya anyatha grahanasyapi atah eva abhavah. Tat prasutasya means ajnana prasutam, bija prasutam, right? So Ajnana prasutam means janyam, born of that ignorance. Turiye, in tatra means in turiye, tat prasutasya means ajnana prasutasya anyatha grahanasya api. Well, if bijam is ignorance itself is not there in consciousness, right? Which is experientially there, but really there is no ajnanam at all that is there is consciousness. If that is the case, then tat prasutasya, so then what is born of ignorance, if ignorance itself is not there in consciousness, because there is nothing other than consciousness, then definitely born of ignorance, what is anyatha grahanam, adhyasa, anyatha grahanasya api, well then definitely anyatha grahana, that adhyasa, vishva taijasa also is atah eva abhavaha. Well, definitely this vishva and taijasa also, misconception also, api means also, is not there. Atah eva karana bhave karya bhavaha, bija bhave ankura bhavaha, etc. And he gives example. Nahi savitari, in that sun, nahi, that na you take later. Savitari means in the sun, here, there, in our case, tatra, here savitari, same thing. Tatra means turiye, savitari means in the sun, here in the turiya. So, in this nahi savitari, well, prakashatmake, which is nature of the light, tad viruddham aprakashanam, contrary to that light, what? Aprakashanam, darkness. How can that darkness exist? Right? Tad viruddham aprakashanam katham bhavati. So how come in Savitari, how can the sun, which is of the nature of light, in that sun, how can the darkness exist? Right? Same way here. So here Turiya is compared with the sun. The sun is compared here with the Turiya. Example, sun. And aprakashanam means what? Darkness. Here what is there? Ignorance. Right? So here it says, nahi savitari sada prakashatmake tad viruddham aprakashanam. Not just on aprakashanam, anyatha prakashanam va na sambhavati. That na which is there in the beginning, bring here before sambhavati. So you keep it. He means since, savitari sada prakashatmake, the sun which is of the nature of light all the time, tad viruddham, contrary to that light, aprakashanam, the darkness, or what? Anyatha prakashanam, shining other way, other than it is prakasha, all the time prakasha. Sometime like in at the time of a eclipse, you look like that sun has become dull. Sun has become when the shadow comes on the means in your vision, the sun is appearing like a dark ball, only in that ring kind of a thing, which is prakasha. So then you feel the sun has become dull now, absolutely dull, of the almost nature of darkness, not total darkness. So that's called anyatha prakashana. Even at that time, sun is all the time all nature of light only, even though it appears dull. So that's called anyatha prakashana. Same way here, Turiya, which is of the nature of self-revealing prakasha, consciousness, in that how come the ignorance, aprakashanam, or anyatha prakashanam, adhyasa, vishwa tejas, etc., how come they exist, how come they are there. So adhyasa or misconception, they can exist. So that is what it has been said here. Now we'll go further and be able to complete this passion. We'll see in the next class. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.